Okay, so ready to dive in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Today we're looking at this kind of quirky marketing campaign that's been making the rounds. Goldfish crackers,
So, yeah, sure.
little fishies. They're getting a bit of a grown-up makeover.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, they're not actually changing the crackers themselves.
Yeah.
At least not in terms of taste or how they look.
Oh.
Just the name. They're rebranding them as, get this, Chilean sea bass crackers.
Wait, really? Chilean sea bass. That's
I know, right? It's like they went looking for the fanciest name on a menu and just decided to stick it on a box of goldfish.
yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah. So we've got this press release basically announcing this limited time change. And they're not even trying to hide who they're going for. It's us, millennials, Gen Z, anyone who grew up snacking on these things.
Makes sense. Play on that nostalgia.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, hey, we were there for your childhood and now we're here for your slightly more sophisticated adulthood.
Yeah, I mean, brands tapping into that warm, fuzzy feeling we have, those memories we associate with their product. That can be pretty powerful, like a way to reconnect.
Totally. Though sophisticated might be a bit of a stretch, don't you think?
Mm.
I mean, they're still the same cheesy crackers at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, the crackers themselves aren't changing, but the name definitely changes the conversation.
So you're thinking just calling them Chilean sea bass actually makes people think of them differently.
I think it definitely makes people talk about them differently. And that's what marketing is all about, isn't it? Getting people talking, creating that buzz, even if it starts with a little bit of amusement or even disbelief.
Okay, so there's a method to this madness. It's not just a silly gimmick.
Well, there's definitely a gimmick element, right? But there's some smart strategy in there, too. For one thing, this is a limited time offer. You can only get them on their website.
Ah, so they're playing the exclusivity card.
Exactly. And to really drive that home, they've priced these babies at, get this, $7.38 for 2 bags.
Wow, that's a lot for some goldfish, even if they are pretending to be sea bass.
Yeah, they're definitely leaning into that idea that these aren't your average everyday snack.
Right. It's like suddenly goldfish are a luxury item.
Exactly. They're tapping into that psychology, that we tend to value things that are scarce, or at least seem that way. And that perception of luxury can be really persuasive.
So it's not just the name change, it's the whole package, the limited availability, the price. It all adds up to a different experience.
It does. And it's interesting, right? Because the article also mentions their other, let's say, adult-oriented flavors they've got going on, Old Bay, Frank's Red Hot.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not just a one-off thing. It feels like they're really making an effort to appeal to, older palates.
Yeah, I think it's part of a bigger trend, across the food industry. Brands are realizing they need to cater to more than just kids these days. So you get these bolder flavors, these collaborations. It's all about attracting new customers, keeping things interesting.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone loves a good snack, right?
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe all this Chilean sea bass talk will actually get some people who haven't thought about goldfish in years to try them again.
Could be. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely. But it definitely leaves us with something to think about, right? Like,
Right.
Does a name really change how we experience food? Would we actually feel fancier snacking on Chilean sea bass crackers at a party than regular goldfish? I'm not sure I would, but
Yeah, it's a good question. It makes you wonder about, the power of branding, of perception, of how much those things actually influence our experience of something as basic as food.
Right. Like maybe it's all about the context, the presentation. If someone served you these in a fancy bowl at a party, maybe you wouldn't even question it.
Exactly. It's food for thought, right?
Yeah. Pun intended. But seriously, it's fascinating how even a marketing campaign that seems, I don't know, kind of silly on the surface can lead to some pretty interesting reflections.
I agree. And hey, it shows that even with something as familiar as goldfish crackers, there's always room for surprise.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of surprises, they also mentioned in the article that they're bringing back those elf maple syrup flavored grams for the holidays. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Blast from the past, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. Goldfish crackers are all grown up, or at least pretending to be. And whether you think it's genius marketing or just plain doofy, it's definitely got people talking. And at the end of the day, isn't that the point?
That's the game.
All right. That's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See you then.